I mean, if your people are showing up today, the basic needs, like, their health care and their basic salary is good enough. They showed up, right? Now, if all you're using to motivate your employee is more money, all kinds of studies have been done. Unless it's a significant amount of money that's going to make a difference, it's very easily forgotten. Like, we ask people, what did you do with your last cash bonus? Under $1,000. And, half of them said I paid bills. No, there's a third of paid bills and a third couldn't remember. So well over half either paid a bill or couldn't remember what they did with it. Well, is that really motivation? Is that an award? No, that's compensation. And I think you should have great comp plans. You should, if you hit your quotas and your goals, you should give bonuses. But if you want to incent people, you need to know them well enough to find out what they value. So do you know your people? Do they want to go to a sporting event? Do they want to go to a concert? And like I love it when you know somebody loves the theater. Like, we live near New York, right? They love the theater. Well, the theater's expensive. So you could say, hey, here's $200, go to the theater. But they might just pay a bill with it. But if you give them 2 tickets to Wicked Thursday night at 7, they're going to go. And then they'll have the Wicked experience. And then if you want to say, and by the way, here's $40 to cover parking and tolls. Well, now you're golden. You know what I mean? Because $40 doesn't mean anything, but $40 for parking and tolls? Yeah, because that's about what it's going to cost you, right? So now you create a memory for somebody. And they'll say, hey, I love that project. And you remember we went to Wicked after that? That was great. My wife loves the theater, and we never treat ourselves. But this time we did. And it was because our boss paid attention. I had a guy working for me, and he really went through some really, really tough times in the recession. And I asked him about his kids and stuff. And I said, who took it the hardest? And he said, my teenagers took it the hardest because they didn't get cell phones and iPods. And we didn't go to the big events. So he'd lived up in Boston, and I said, so did you ever take your son to a Red Sox game? He says, oh, we never have money to go to a Red Sox game. So he's living out west, and I said, well, I'll tell you what, I have tons of points, and I know guys at the Red Sox. So pick a day, and I'll give you miles for the tickets. I'll give you points for the hotel, and I'll give you 2 tickets to 2 games. How could you not do it, right? So now, he emails me back and he says, you created a father-son moment that we'll never forget, right? Now, if I'd have just said, look, the trip's going to cost you about $800. Here you go. There's no way they would have taken the trip. There's just no way. They would have found a bill. He would have bought him a Red Sox hat. But instead, it's a whole different deal. So that's what the great managers do, is they know their people well enough to create moments that, that they'll remember 10 years from now.